So, hello everyone, and welcome to Stretch with a Leader today. We have Jason Buckway with us. Jason, so glad you're able to be with us today. Would you just take a second to tell us about your role with Intermountain, and then you can go ahead and move into your Live Well moment?
Yeah, thanks. Currently, I'm the Executive Operations Director for Cardiovascular Medicine. I've been with Intermountain Healthcare for just a little over 30 years. I started actually as a nursing assistant 30 years ago, and I've been in various roles at various hospitals within the system. So really appreciate the opportunity to be with you all here today. I see there's uh, 42, 44 people joining, so the ticker count keeps going up as I'm sitting here. So really appreciate those people taking time out. So I was asked to, just provide, what am I doing? What am I doing to live well? And it was interesting. I thought, well, what am I doing? I had to think about that for a second. But as I watched some of these other and participated in some of these Live Well discussions, it came to me that, we can actually do things at no matter what age. So I'm 53 years old. All my kids are out of the house, and so my wife and I have really started to do things together. And at the same time, we have grandchildren that live in our home often. So every Thursday, I become a daycare center here at the house with my grandkids, and it gets a little bit crazy. So what are we doing regardless of what age we're at? So I watched a presentation a few weeks ago about where they went out on and went e-biking, and I thought, well, that's interesting because we just bought e-bikes too, but there's a big difference in terms of what the differences in e-bikes. And so I thought, well, I'm going to share with what I've learned just in terms of the differences, and I put in here that the Class 1 e-bike is the great equalizer of youth. So I have four children, four boys. They're 22, 24, 26, and 28 years old. And when they say, hey, Dad, let's go mountain biking, they've already put their feet up on the coffee table, drinking a drink by the time I roll into the garage after mountain biking. So this Class 1 e-bike is awesome. It has what's called a pedal assist. So you can go up hills way easier. It's pretty light. It will get you up to a speed of 20 miles per hour before it does anything else or before it stops helping you. It's great for trails. It has dual shocks, and it really is awesome to keep up with your kids. If you're not in for more of the technical stuff, which my wife is not, she likes the paved trails that are not a lot of dips and turns and things like that. So she has what's called a Rad Rover 6 bike. It's a little bit bigger. It's a little bit heavier. It only has a single shock, but it also has a throttle assist. So you can actually put your feet up and just go much like a little motorcycle goes. It's great for paved gravel trails and for city commuting, and she loves it. There's also a Class 3 bike that actually gets you up to about 28 miles an hour. That's just a pedal assist. It doesn't have a throttle, but the different types of e-bikes have really made it so there's no excuse for anyone to stay at home. No matter what your condition level is, there are opportunities and options out there. The Class 1 are a little bit more expensive. Class 2 and Class 3 are quite affordable in terms of bikes. So wanted to share that with you. The next thing is, this is the picture of my grandchildren. This is Cole and this is Lucy and my wife Stephanie. This is after a 1K in South Weber that Lucy ran. And so you think, well, gosh, when should you get your kids involved? And I say it's never too early, but it's sometimes difficult. So one of the things that we do when they're here, instead of popping them in front of the TV, we keep them occupied by letting them watch a workout video in our living room. And so there are hundreds, or if not, thousands of different programs online that are very, very interactive, that have the kids jumping up and down. They have them stretching. They have them standing on their heads, and it can go from 8 to 30 minutes. Some of the other things, if you don't want them still in front of the TV, just blow up a balloon and watch them play indoor volleyball. Telling them they can't hit it on the ground. Turn on the music, watch them dance. Develop an obstacle course with your chairs and watch them crawl underneath it. And then this is a fun one. Cole is 2, and so he throws temper tantrums. And so when that happens, we make a game of it, and we actually all try to throw a temper tantrum with him. He suddenly quits crying and starts laughing. And then lastly, just some pillow fights. So just some fun ideas that maybe you can, one, if you're like me, who don't have kids in the house and you want to get out, the e-bikes are a great option. But if you have younger children, you can still do the dishes while they do their indoor activities, watching a workout video. So anyway, that's it. I just wanted to provide a few opportunities of what I'm doing in order to keep myself a little bit more active, and then trying to keep up with my grandkids. So thanks. And my ticker tape went up to 57 people, Cammie, while we were talking. So.
Yep, it'll keep going up. And once it's published on the YouTube channel, you'll get more views there too. So thank you so much. What great ideas, not only for yourself, but for kids and grandkids to keep them moving. I'm with you. As soon as I can't keep up with my kids anymore mountain biking, I'm going to get me a class 1 e-bike.
It really is the great equalizer of youth. It's so fantastic to be able to keep up with my 20-year-old kids. There's a big difference between I'm 53 and these guys, but it really is fun. And, I could go as long as they go. So it's great.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks so much for all those ideas and sharing a little bit about you, and your grandkids are super cute too. So let's go ahead and move on to the stretch part of our class today. Stretching is probably the great equalizer of fitness as well, that we can all do it together. So I'm going to go ahead and spotlight myself. Jason, you can leave your camera on or turn it off, totally up to you, whatever you're most comfortable with.
Thanks. I'll turn it off, but appreciate everyone joining, and I'll stay here and stretch with you.
Sounds great. All right. Go ahead and hop up. Okay. Take a couple deep breaths. So let's just start. Just find yourself in just a nice, comfortable standing position. Let's just do a big inhale, reach up. Exhale, release the arms. We're going to do one more big breath. Inhale up. And exhale the arms. So as we move through our stretching today, feel free to focus on your breath a little more for a little more stress relief. So we're going to take feet together. Your left leg is going to go back, and then your right arm does a big circle backwards. And then step forward, and we're going to switch legs. Right leg back, left arm circles back, step forward and switch. So we're doing opposite arm, opposite leg in the movement. And of course, make sure you're working with your own range of motion. If you have a shoulder issue or injury, maybe that full range of motion arm circle isn't going to work for you today. So please be kind to your own body. Okay, let's do one more of these. All right. Go ahead and take feet comfortable width apart. We're going to take the right leg and swing it around over to the left side. So they're nice and crossed now. And then your left hand is going to come up by your shoulder. We're just going to do some big side stretches. So reach up and over, and notice that stretch in your side. Come back. We're going to do that a few more times, and then we'll add on with a little extra movement. Just notice where you're feeling the stretch at. Maybe some big breaths as you move through it as well. Okay, on this one, go ahead and reach up and now pause, and we're going to start to pull the elbow back and maybe look to the side. So a little bit of a twist. You're only going as far as you feel comfortable with. Come back to the center and let's do that again. Start to rotate open. And back to the center, release that leg, and let's do the other side. So we're gonna take now left leg, swing it around. Nice wide stance here. And then right arm reaches up and over. Big side stretch. You can find your inhales and exhales wherever you'd like them. Just maybe make them a little bigger than a normal breath. We'll do 2 more. Big reach. Okay, on this one, we're gonna pause. So reach up and over. And now start to pull the elbow back. Open the chest up a little bit. Maybe look to the side. Come back to the center. And rotate again. Open everything up to your end range of motion. Back to the center and release the arm. Go ahead and take your legs back to a normal standing position. Let's do a little bit of forearm wrist stuff with all that typing we do. So you're going to take your palms facing up. You want your forearms facing up. All the movement's going to be in your wrists, so keep your forearms up. So go ahead and make fists and start to make big circles, making sure your forearms stay pointed up. The bottom of your forearms. You might get some pops. Okay, now go the other way. It's kind of an awkward movement, I know. We'll do a couple more like that. Okay, go ahead and shake it out. A little bit more forearms. So let's take our hands up, and you're just going to rotate your palms forward and then rotate palms back. And we're going to add on to this movement a little bit now that you have the pattern down here. So now you're going to rotate your palms back as your hands come down, and then your palms even end up facing the side, and then bring your hands up and rotate them out. So it's the same movement, but now we're adding the flexion and extension at the elbow as well. And if you notice some tension building in your shoulders, take a breath and relax, because we're working through our wrists and our forearms. Okay, go ahead and shake it out. Maybe even some knee bends here. Big shoulder rolls. And then send your hands forward, palms are facing up. Take a big inhale, send your thumbs back, and maybe even lift your chest and look up a little bit. And then reach forward as you exhale, round through the back, pull your shoulder blades apart. Let's do a couple more like that. Just trying to add a little more movement in your upper spine, your thoracic spine. Because if you lose mobility in your thoracic spine, it's not good for your shoulders. It can lead to a lot of shoulder problems and neck problems and lower back problems, because everything's connected. Let's do one more like this. Reach forward, round through the back. We'll pause here. Interlace your fingers. Press your palms away from you. Pull through the shoulder blades even more and start to reach down towards the ground. And then take a big inhale and stand all the way up, reaching tall towards the sky. Go ahead and release the arms. Let's do something quick with our legs because they've been kind of ignored today. So go ahead and step to the left and press your hands into your thigh. Come back to the center and go the other way. Step and reach. Just noticing the inner thighs, the hips. For those of you who attend frequently, you guys know I do this one a lot because we do really ignore our inner thighs, and this gets our hip joint mobilized. Wakes up the glutes too. One more each side. All right, go ahead and come back to the center, grab onto your chair, your desk for balance if you'd like, or if you want to balance, put your hands on your hips. We're going to anchor the right leg on the floor and just do a few leg swings. So keeping the pelvis level, so all the movement is right in your hip joint.